were that they were embedded in the rock in order to get sufficient mechanical supporting structure. So you just discharge a magnet twice per day, I think that was the plan. The energy was about 5,000 megawatt hours. But I think during 80s, late 70s, they realized that those concepts were technically maybe impossible, but especially from the economical point of view, out of the question. So if you think about smaller systems to store energy, we have two options. We have SMES and we have flywheels. And micro-SMES is to solve the questions related to power quality. But on the other hand, flywheel is a real energy storage. You can store energy at night and discharge your energy in daytime. As said, we have two ways to store energy, and the first one is this MES, and the energy which we can store can be given with a quite simple equation: 0.5 times inductance times the current squared. So this L means the inductance of the coil and I is the coil current. Related to flywheel, the energy can be stored 0.5 times J times omega squared, where J is the momentum of inertia and omega represents the angular frequency. Even though these equations are very simple, as you can see, it demands quite a lot of calculations when you try to find the optimal solution from the technical point of view and also, of course, from the economical point of view. If you like to increase the energy in SMES, of course we can increase the current, but if you do so, it sets quite high demands for the conductor which we use. And it may be so that, for example, the costs of the conductor will become very high. The other method is to increase the inductance, but if we do so, we must have more turns in the coil, and if we have more turns, we have more conductor, and of course it increases, for example, the costs. So it is not so easy to weighten flywheel. Of course, we can rotate the system with much more higher speed, 50,000 rounds per minute. And another option is, of course, to increase the momentum of inertia, and that parameter is depending on the geometry. If we increase the angular velocity, the stresses which will be posed to the flywheel will become quite high. So we cannot rotate it to very extreme high frequency. This is so-called micro-SMES. It is purposed for power quality applications. We have some commercial SMES units which are based on niobium titanium technology. But this magnet has been made from niobium 3 thin. So that means that we don't have to cool it down with liquid helium, so we can use efficient cryocoolers which cool the magnet down to 10 K. Here you can see the cryocooler unit which goes down to the magnet. The cost of the magnet, 100,000 euros.
Here you can see the SMES, superconducting energy storage. And here are the current terminals. There are two of them, from which the current is fed through the magnet. The magnet is consisting of 11